Before we begin, if you love real-life mysteries, dark secrets, and untold emotional stories, make sure to subscribe to Raheel Stories Hub. Every story here hides a truth. Sometimes beautiful, sometimes terrifying. Now, let's begin. It was a cold evening in Karachi, the kind that carried silence heavier than air. Inside a small police station at the edge of the city, a man sat quietly, hands cuffed, eyes blank. His name was Zahir, and this was the night he lost his freedom. Nobody knew what really happened that evening. The streets whispered stories. Some said he killed his best friend, others claimed it was an accident. But Zahir never spoke. Not in court, not to the police, not even to his own lawyer. When the judge's hammer fell, the words echoed through the courtroom. Life imprisonment. And just like that, Zahir disappeared into the world behind bars. The first night in prison felt like dying slowly. The walls smelled of rust, old sweat, and hopeless dreams. Every sound was a reminder, the iron gates clanging, the footsteps of guards, the whispers of other prisoners crying in the dark. Zahir lay on his bed, staring at the ceiling. He wasn't afraid of the darkness. He was afraid of his memories. That night, he dreamt of the alley where everything went wrong. A gun, a scream, a drop of blood, and then silence. Days became weeks. Weeks turned into months. In prison, time doesn't move. It circles you like a curse. Zahir learned the rules of survival. Never talk too much. Never look too long. Never trust anyone. He worked in the prison kitchen, quietly washing dishes day after day. Sometimes he'd hear news from outside. His mother died waiting for him. His wife left the city, his house was sold. Everything he had was gone. But one thing stayed, the truth he never told. One night, an old prisoner named Kamal sat beside Zahir. He was a lifer, too, 40 years inside, forgotten by the world. "You don't belong here," Kamal whispered. "I see it in your eyes." Zahir smiled faintly. "Does it matter?" Kamal shook his head. "It always matters. But no one cares in here. You die whether you're guilty or not." That night, Zahir broke his silence. For the first time, he told someone what really happened. It wasn't murder, it was defense. His friend had betrayed him, stolen money, lied, and tried to kill him. The gun went off in a fight. Zahir didn't run because he was tired of proving his innocence to a world that had already decided his guilt. Years passed. Zahir wrote letters to his family, to the court, even to God, but he never posted them. Each letter ended the same way. "Maybe I belong here. Maybe this is my fate." His hair turned gray. His hands grew weak. But inside, he remained calm, like someone who had accepted his punishment even if he didn't deserve it. One day, a young lawyer named Sana Malik visited the prison for a volunteer case. She saw Zahir's name on an old file, a case with missing evidence, false witnesses, and no defense. She met him the next day. "You could have been free years ago," she said in disbelief. Zahir looked up slowly. "Freedom means nothing when you've already lost everyone." Sana tried everything, reopening the file, contacting judges, searching for records, but corruption runs deep. Every door was closed. After months of struggle, she came to tell him the truth. "Zahir, I can't help you. They destroyed your file years ago." He simply smiled and said, "Then maybe I was meant to stay." Winter came again. Zahir had been in prison for 32 years. Most prisoners called him Baba Zahir now, the quiet old man who never caused trouble. One morning, the guard found him sitting on his bed, eyes closed, holding a small folded paper in his hands. It was one of his old letters, the one addressed to God. The letter said, "I forgive them. I forgive myself. I was free long before these walls." They buried him behind the prison, where nameless graves lie side by side. No one came. No one remembered. But somewhere in an old police file room, his case number still sits. Unsolved, unread, forgotten. And that was the story of Zahir, the man who never truly left prison. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to Raheel Stories Hub, where we bring you real, emotional, and unforgettable tales every week. Because sometimes the darkest stories hide the deepest truths.